Hey Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on CapnclydesMTG. Today let's give a little love to the decks that are seeing the resurgence of the unbanning. We've got the budget Arc-Light Phoenix and the not so budget Amulet Titan. And boy, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's like the days of old, back in my day. Anyway, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. The comments down below are going to feed that YouTube algorithm. Also, links in the description, eBay, TCG Player, the Christmas giveaways down there, Patreon, Jesus Christ, what else? Sign up on YouTube to be a member. It's as cheap as $1. Visit us on Discord. It's a fun time. So, trying to build a little community. Giggity. Let's look into this and kind of go over what the decks are and what these cards are bringing to these decks for you young whippersnappers who weren't around back in the day when we had this kind of raw power. Anyway, so we'll start with a budget deck, Arc-Light Phoenix, if you can call the price of this budget, but trust me, in Modern, this is budget. Oh my god. This deck is a mono red deck. You have 4 Soulscar Mages, 4 Arc-Light Phoenixes, 2 Bedlam Reveler, 4 Monastery Swift Spears, 4 Metamorphose, 2 Lightning Bolts, 3 Gut Shots, 4 Lava Darts, The brand new unbanned Faith of Looting is back, baby. It used to be the staple in this deck. It was what made this deck work. 4 Lava Spikes, 4 Light Up the Stage, 1 Finale of Promise, because now you got Faithless Looting, you don't need Finale. Runs 15 mountains, 2 fire islets, 1 sun-baked canyon. That's right, kids. 18 lands. And it's coming in hot. Sideboard, 1 Abrade, 3 Blood Moon, 4 Leyline of the Void. Leyline of the Void? Where are they getting mountains at? Oh, Metamorphose. Any color. 4 Dragon's Claw, and 3 Rending Volley. So, most expensive cards in the deck is obviously Blood Moon at $8. 3 of those is $24. 1 Sunbaked Canyon for $4. Gut Shots run you $2. Metamorphose about $5. Arc Lights are around $3. God, I remember these things used to be $30. Anyway, so how the deck works, you have your Soulscar Mage, your Monastery Swift Spear. Both do basically the same thing. They both have Prowess. Soulscar Mage puts minus counters on stuff when they take damage. And obviously Monastery Swift Spear just has Prowess and Haste. You have the Bedlam Reveler, not so much a known card. It is 2 red and 6, but it costs, well, I won't say it costs. You can delve away cards in your graveyard to cast it for cheap. So late game, if you run into one of these, you can literally cast it. It's a 3/4 Prowess, lets you draw 3 cards for 2 red. Seems like a deal. Because you're going to get 6 cards out of your graveyard. 4 Metamorphose. You know what this card is. I don't know what to tell you. A green, red, and 1. You get to draw a card and make 2 mana of any color. Basically cycles. Burns you through your deck, plus fills your graveyard for Bedlam Reveler and many other things. Gut Shot is basically free. 1 damage. Lava Dart, the same. I think you can throw lands away for the Lava Dart. I think it's that one. So, Lava Spike, 3 damage to opponents, light up the stage. When you damage an opponent, it actually casts for 1 red, not 3, so you can draw more cards by exiling 2 cards and then cast them on the end of your next turn. Finale of Promise cast 2 spells from your graveyard up to X. You're normally casting this for 3 mana because, well, all your shit costs 1. So, yeah. And how does it work? Well, the goal of this deck is to put an Arc-Light Phoenix, or all 4 of them, on the battlefield by turn 3. And you're like, whoa, Captain, how are you going to do that? Well, bucko, let me tell you. So, the reason why Faithless Looting is so good, Arc-Light Phoenix states, it's a 3/2 with haste. At the beginning of your attack step, if you've cast 3 instants this turn, or sorceries, I believe. Let's just take a look, make sure I got the wording right on that. Instant and sorcery, yep, right there. Weedum and the Weetums. So, what happens is, it comes back from the graveyard into play as a 3/2 flyer. Obviously, it has haste, and you can do punch your opponent in the face, i.e., bolt them if they can't block, which it's flying, people ain't blocking it. What happens is turn 1, ideally, you Faithless Looting, draw 2 cards, put a Phoenix in the graveyard. Turn 2, do some shenanigans, kill something, cast something, do whatever you got to do. Maybe lay a Monastery Swiftspear. Maybe Swiftspear on the first turn, who knows, while you hold your Faithless Looting. But basically, what happens on turn 3, put out a couple Swiftspears, a couple Soulscar Mages, maybe you get 1 each. Hold your instants and sorcery, especially your lootings. And on turn 3, it doesn't matter if these spells are countered or not, they still activate. They still count as cast. On turn 3, you start going Faithless Looting, draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, Phoenix in the graveyard. Faithless Looting, draw 2 cards, Phoenix in the graveyard. And since everything's 1 mana, you then Gut Shot, Lava Dart, take your pick, Lightning Bolt, Lava Spike, whatever. All the Phoenixes come back. Your Soulscar Mage and Monastery Swiftspear, or any combination thereof, or 1, has gained +3/+3 and is now ready to rumble. And you're swinging with everybody. It is a devastating, deadly, dangerous deck. And let's not forget, if you start with 3 mana and you only have a 1 mana spell, but you have a Metamorphose, you can draw into another one and keep your mana. It's basically a wash because you spend 2 to get 2. This deck is incredibly good and sweet. So, if you're looking for something to play, I highly suggest it in Modern because, well, it's good, it's fast, it's fun, and most importantly, cheap. Dirt cheap. Compared to other decks like Titan, which, let's go take a look at that bad boy right now. So, here you have Titan. Notice there's not prices on here because I didn't want to give you guys a heart attack. Anyway, what we have here, your basic Amulet Titan build. New cards here. We have the Aftermath Analyst. It's a $4 uncommon, $5. Call it what you will. Oh, $4 if you want foil. It's $5. Only 1 of them, so you can get cards back from your graveyard. You have 4 Grazers, obviously not worth anything. 1 Dryad of Elysium Grove, because I'll tell you about it in a minute. We have 1 Bellow of the Woods, because mill 4, put all your cards in your graveyard back in your hand, and trust me, it's a thing. Because it also has Scape Shift. 4 Primeval Titan, namesake of the deck. 1 Sakura Tribe Scout, so you can, put an extra land into play. Seems good. 4 Green Sun Zeniths now. 3 Scape Shifts, 2 Summoner Packs, 4 Amulet of Vigor, and 4 Spelunking. And if you didn't notice, Vigor amulets are $40 a piece. There's 160. There's another 16. That's 176. Here's another 90. You're past 300. There's another 100. That's 400. Titans are 40, 450. I mean, Spelunking. And we're not even to the lands or the sideboard. For the love of God, this thing's expensive. So what basically happens? Whole point: get Titan on the battlefield, do your shenanigans, give it haste, and proceed to punch opponent in face. So, how does Green Sun Zenith really make this deck go off? Lots of reasons. So if you read Green Sun, it says for a green and X, search your library for a green creature card with a converted mana cost X or less. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Shuffle Green Sun Zenith into its owner's library. So, you may think, sure, Captain, but the only card they're going to be able to get is a Grazer, which gives you an extra land. It doesn't do anything else. The Tribe Scout's the easy hit. That would give you 5 of those on turn 2, which would be a guaranteed play. However, notice it's a 1/1, and this thing will die to everything. And if anybody plays this and they don't kill it, you win. But the real coup de grace of Green Sun Zenith is very much the same as the Scout, but for this, for a single green, you can go fetch your Dryad Arbor, because it is a 0 casting cost land creature, and put it onto the battlefield. Notice it says right there. So on turn 1, you can go Forest, Green Sun, Dryad, 2 mana, go. And then on your turn 3, you can easily be like Amulet. Or you can lay just a regular land, get out a Spelunking, or whatever you want. I mean, take your pick. Spelunking, Dryad Elysian Grove, whatever. You can go play this, go fetch one of these other ones. Tons of things going on. Tons of things. So and then you have your bounce lands, your battlements, echoing deeps, because you just need at least one cave. You have your growth chambers, Urza's cave, because, you know, produces, sacks for get land, so you can go get more land. Urza's saga, because this thing should be in every deck, because it's just that busted. You have one Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle, and a Vesuva, just in case you need a little something extra. And the thing here is the new Crumbling Vestige, that when it comes into play, you get a mana of any color, but it's tapped. So, you quite literally can kill somebody on turn 2 with this. But on a bad day, on turn 3, you know, because turn 1, you're going to get a Dryad Arbor that say they don't kill it or whatever. Play your third land, lay a Dryad of Elysian Grove, lay a couple extra land just for the giggles. Or if you don't, God help the opponent, because that means you got action. Maybe you lay a Spelunking instead of that, so that, you know, when it enters, you get to draw a card, put a land card from your hand on the battlefield, and all your stuff comes into play untapped. Amulet of Vigor, maybe you put one of those into play, or two. And then what happens is, if you do get this into play, and you start doing some weird Spelunking stuff, when your bounce lands, i.e. Gruul Turf, come into play, the amulet will trigger, so before you have to pick a land up, you get to untap the turf, tap it, put 2 mana in your pool, and then you pick back up, and then you can relay it if you have extra land drops, which you will. Also with this, notice this now playing Lotus Field. So you can play a Lotus Field, sacrifice 2 lands. This will untap, even though it says enter the battlefield tap, and then you can make 3 mana. So there's tons of shenanigans. This is what you do. You make 6 mana by turn 3, 4 at the very worst, unless you're having a real bad day. And then go get all these really cool special lands and just go ham. And just to let you know, I couldn't find it when I was searching through the internet again, but Amulet Titan has already went 5-0 on several leagues. But that was a notification I got while I was at work on my phone that I had set up, and like a dummy, I was like, oh, well, I'll easily find those when I get home. Yeah, not so much. So yeah, but this deck is insanely powerful, especially now with Green Suns in it. Because before it ran 4 Summoners Pact to get your Titans, the Green Sun is also a Summoners Pact. Because, trust me, this thing makes mana like you would not believe. For example, if you have 2 Amulet of Vigors in play, when you put 1 Gruul Turf in play, it untaps. Both amulets trigger, so you get to untap it, tap it for land, let the other amulet trigger, untap it, tap it for mana. Sorry, not land. So for every amulet, you get 2 mana off every bounce land. So if you get 3 amulets in play, that's 6 mana, which that's just the game, because that is, i.e., Primeval Titan. And the best thing about it over Summoning Pack, if you use Green Suns, it does cost 1 more, but you don't have to untap and pay for it. And this puts it directly into play. You don't have to try to cast it. So, yeah. This is getting out of hand. So, before we end, let's go through real quick and just talk about the sideboard. Borrow Downs, more Besejus. Beseju's everywhere. Beseju who shelters, Beseju who endures. Beseju. A Collector Ophi, 1 Dismember, 3 Endurance, 3 Force of Vigor. God, this green is good. A Generous Int. What's this thing even do? Oh, Forest Cycling. Yeah, sure. A Ghost Quarter, just in case. Roxanne Starfell Servant. You know, in case you need to start blowing things up. And 1 Vexing Bauble just for the giggles. So, there you have it, guys. There are 2 decks that the new Unbannings have supercharged once again to be very powerful, and that I've already heard stirrings and seen winnings online from these decks. Now, Arclight Phoenix, winning, but not as dominantly as a 5-0 that the Titan deck is really getting people taken off guard by. Now, will this fix itself over time? Yes. When the metagame changes and people address the issue of how to fight Titan again, the Green Sun Zenith thing won't be that big a thing. But however, apparently people are snoozing on how powerful Green Sun Zenith is, and Titan is just putting the whooping to everyone. So, with all that said, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table.